For the last year, I challenged myself to document my life exactly how it was through YouTube vlogs. And I don't think there's anything special about me. I mean, I'm 22, I'm still in university, about to graduate with an engineering degree in a few months. I didn't make $1 million before I turned 20. I don't have 100,000 subscribers or followers on any platform, but I wanted this to be a story, my story, of how everything in my life has kind of changed over the last year since picking up my camera again. I want to take you guys along on the journey from how I went from someone who was so scared of posting their work, worrying that their life would be too boring to post on YouTube and film and vlog, to someone who's now comfortable with the work that they create. So I think in order for you to understand this story, my story, in its entirety, I'd like to catch you guys up from 2024, January, 3 months before I posted my first video of the year. So the start of the year was really the same as any other year for me. You know, a ton of inspiration, motivation, and just a lot of new goals for myself to go out and try and achieve. And something that I just have been wanting to do for a long time again was just get back into the process of creating and actually finishing the projects that I start. Conveniently, I had also just purchased a new camera a few weeks before, but I'm sure we all know that motivation that you have from the beginning of the year, it fades pretty fast if you don't do anything with it. Pretty soon after, I realized that it was already halfway through the month of January and I hadn't started anything. The same projects that I told myself I was gonna start were still sitting on my hard drives or unrecorded. And I think that was that until I broke my elbow. I spent a lot of time that winter skiing with my friends, and one day things just didn't go great for me. The doctors basically told me that it would be about 4 weeks before I had full mobility again and a few months before I'd have full strength. And to be honest, even though this was pretty terrible, it actually ended up being probably one of the best things that could have happened to me in that year. It was a really weird time because on one hand, it sucked. I had a broken elbow, fractured, and I spent a lot of my days not doing much, just recovering. But on the other hand, because I could no longer go about my daily routine, I had a lot more free time to just plan and brainstorm. Okay, so pretty much I'm trying to plan out the videos that I want to make this year. For example, if you watch a video now versus if you watch a video in a year from now, I want you to be able to tell that's the same person. Maybe I'll have new gear, new experiences, so like it'll make me a better creator, but overall I want you to be able to tell that, yeah, that's a Jason Zhao video. So those are the things I'm doing right now. What was I going to make? What was I going to film? I knew I wanted to film my life and document it, but what was I doing day to day that would actually drive a solid story? That was one of the biggest hurdles for me in the beginning because everything I did to me just seemed so mundane and boring. Things like going to work, waking up in the morning, going to the gym, studying, nothing about that seemed like it was worth filming. But I realized that if I wanted to document my life and vlog, I didn't really have any other choice. That was my life, that was the way I lived it, so that's exactly what I decided to make videos about.
So I've been back home for about a week now. Food and beverage is number one part, then I was delivering. But also, food is always tough because even though it is like it might be like this, it might be.
I love watching gear videos, let me make a video about gear. I love filmmaking how-tos, let's make a filmmaking how-to. Going to the gym with my friends, hanging out, well, the camera's hanging out too. It was a bit awkward at first because I hadn't built up all the confidence to really film in public, so I knew that I just had to keep doing it. I don't think there's anything natural about filming in public and talking to yourself, especially talking to a camera. So I think the only way you can get around it is just by doing it more. Like, practice makes perfect. In a way, documenting my life and talking to the camera became my version of journaling. It was my way of keeping myself accountable, talking about what I was working on and what I wanted to do in the future. And the coolest thing is that looking back now, I have footage of that. I have the footage of me before the journey, I have the process of me doing it, and I have all of that documented just by picking up my camera. This is wild. Literally, as all my computer parts are coming in, my computer breaks even more. When I click shut down, this will be the last time this computer is ever used. Whether you're actually posting something and putting it out there or just making something for the sake of making something, I think the entire process of vlogging is really quite beautiful in a really personal way. So in April, my girlfriend and I had a trip planned to none other than New York City. My first of many times in the city and also kind of a dream come true. I mean, like New York, right? That's where all of this happens. Growing up and just being a kid who watched YouTube, that's where all of my favorite YouTubers were from. And even nowadays, I feel like all of your favorite YouTubers live in New York. But this was a very important trip for me in terms of being a creator for two different reasons. It was the first time I finally understood that nobody actually cares about you in the best way possible. This is a super commonly said phrase because it's just so true. In a place like New York City, you are just a nobody. It doesn't matter what you're up to, so you don't have to feel awkward about carrying a camera around and filming things. I was walking down streets with a camera in my hand, facing me, filming myself, talking to myself, and I didn't even feel out of place. And the second thing that happened that was really more luck than anything was that two of the videos that I posted during those 10 days I spent in New York actually found a nice spot in the algorithm and had a pretty nice boost. And I realized that there was a pretty solid opportunity for me there to continue to make that type of video. The next few months really just consisted of me doing that over and over and over again. Whether I thought someone was gonna watch it or not, I was gonna film it and make it for my own sake because I just wanted to have those memories for myself in the future of all the trips that I went on in the year, all the people I met, all the fun things and all the fun places I went to.
All right, it's sunset now. We're out exploring by the ocean. New York City for the first time ever. Hi guys, we are in Seattle now. I'm going out, doing some filming, doing some shooting. This is my New York City. Like something's wrong, you know?
Oh, really?
By being intentional about what I was filming and sharing and putting out there, it also made me more intentional about the way I was living my life. Getting my health right, eating right, working out, staying on top of work, staying on top of my projects. In order to fit vlogging into this lifestyle, I realized that I had to clean up my lifestyle.
Also, today is a pull day, but yesterday I got kind of greedy when I was hitting chest and started hitting a little bit of biceps, so my biceps are a little sore. Lunch today is the last bit of meal prep that I made. Chicken, rice, and broccoli, except there's no broccoli because I finished that yesterday. Which means that either today or tomorrow I will need to go grocery shopping and make more meal prep.
Pretty soon after, it was back to school season, and this was a time that I was kind of dreading. I had found myself a good bit of momentum and also a good routine in terms of creating that I knew would be difficult, if not impossible, to sustain with a full engineering workload. But also by not doing the full engineering workload, the possibility of not graduating in time was equally, if not more scary. So I decided that I would really just lock in and do both.
All right, this will be the new room, studio, bed. We still got a lot of work to do, but it's only like day one.
And this felt like the start of a new chapter for me. On top of the 7 courses that I was taking in school, I was still committing 20, 30 hours a week into making YouTube videos. I mean, the edits for a YouTube video alone take me about 10 hours, so you can see that pretty soon I'm running out of time in a week.
I mean, we're both still in class, so I have an assignment due today, so I'm gonna head somewhere quiet and try and get some work done now. It's only like 4 p.m.
So in order to keep up with both my schoolwork and YouTube, I had to say no to going out. I had to say no to seeing my friends as often. I had to say no to extracurriculars. And even though I did make this choice willingly, it still is a hard sacrifice. It was also the first time that I tried monetizing and turning this passion project into a business. As I was putting in the hours and putting my work out there for the world, the same energy was coming back. You know, I was receiving a lot more eyes on the work. I was building a community, and that sort of stuff is attractive for brands. All of a sudden, I was receiving emails from brands that I would love to work with. I started dedicating time every single day to answering emails. From the time I had never made a single penny from YouTube, I used copyrighted music in all of my uploads, so monetization was out the window, and the channel was small, so I wasn't expecting any sort of partnerships. And it just felt like all of a sudden something changed, and really for the first time ever, I was starting to make a good amount of money from posting videos onto the internet. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that making YouTube videos is a good career path, because it's not. If you click on the About section of this channel, it'll say that this channel was created in 2017.
Oh my god, not good. I woke up like...
And only a few months ago did I actually start to make profit from this. So I wouldn't recommend anyone pick up a camera if your intention is to make money. But for myself, because I was so interested in making this work and I was so in love with the entire creative process, I was already doing it for free. So by the time income started to come in, it just made it that much more fun to make videos. So you see, realistically, a lot has happened over the last year, and not all of it specifically has to do with making YouTube videos, but almost everything that has changed in the last 365 days has stemmed from the decision to pick up my camera and make things. From going to new places and being able to experience new things, to making new friends in different cities, to now also having this be my job as I'm still in school. And I definitely don't think I'm in a position in life where I think I've made it or I've reached some level of success that I think I'm done working, because it really is still my first year of doing this. But I think it's super important to talk about the behind the scenes stuff that most people might not see on a day-to-day. You know, this story isn't a story about profound success, but it's really just something, a project that I've wanted to tackle for a very long time.
Okay, I don't know if this is actually gonna make sense, but I was just walking, just got out of the gym, and then I went to go pick up my midterm paper. First of all, smacked that midterm, did great, but it just hit me. Like, I was just doing a little bit of reflection while walking of these last few weeks, what I've been up to, and it just like hit me that like, I'm actually a YouTuber now. And I know that's kind of weird and crazy to think about, because I'm talking to you guys right here on YouTube. So of course I'm a YouTuber, but to me, not much has actually changed in my life. You know, despite all the work I put into these videos now and the amount of videos I put out and whatever, regardless of the subscriber count, like nothing has actually changed that much in my life. I still go to class, I go to the same classes, I live in the same apartment, I have the same friends, do the exact same routine. It's just now there's actually people on the other end of this camera instead of just me talking to myself. Growing up, I always wanted to be a YouTuber, whether that was like a Minecraft gaming YouTuber or like a vlogger, a college vlogger, or a filmmaker, whatever it was. I knew that I wanted to post on YouTube and be a YouTuber. And it's just crazy that after about a year of vlogging, like, I'm a YouTuber. Wow.
I am set to graduate from university in just a few weeks, and that's a little scary because it's going to be the first time in a very, very, very long time that I'm not going to be a student anymore. I'm not going to have the overall identity of being in school anymore. But in the spirit of everything else that's happened to me over the last year, I'm actually really excited to announce that I'm actually going to be continuing to chase this dream of mine a bit further. And that's the truth. I never thought that picking up my camera again and filming my boring life would have resulted in me working on the projects that I get to do now, and also just shaping who I am today, and also allowing me to call this a job. I think overall it all just goes to show the unconventional nature of all of this work, but I am still so glad that a year ago you decided to pick up your camera.
Our hearts are free, so tell me what's wrong.